Today, Precarious plays
The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask.
Wahaha. Now that we are down here in the depths of hell, depths. Suddenly that's not a word.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like a word now.
In the depths of hell.
Good job breaking in, hero. I was talking about a Zelda tabletop RPG.
Mm-hmm.
I think having duds that you get after the game starts, that's a very Nintendo thing to do. I think that's how Nintendo would approach a tabletop role-playing experience.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they would recognize that one of the problems I'm facing right now, I'm about to inject new players into an ongoing 5th edition Spelljammer campaign.
I'm just getting a bird's eye view right now. I don't know where we go from here.
There's probably a ledge that has another. Yeah, I think
I see
it's
it.
there.
All right, let me get back down.
I'm injecting new players into an ongoing campaign, and one of the players is going to be an artificer.
Mm-hmm.
They start with thieves' tool proficiencies, and then 2 different tool proficiencies. And I think they can just choose anything. Their character, because of their race and background combination,
Mm-hmm.
they have... Oh, it's a close one.
I am going to make sure that it isn't...
Any closer than that. I'd love it if, like, having his bow hand extended changed the hitbox.
That would be really sucky.
I think killing all of them... Oh, there are torches to light. You should kill all of them and then light the torches.
Yes. This aiming is not super smooth.
Because of his race and class combination, he doesn't need one of the tool proficiencies his background would give him. And I'm very flexible with backgrounds when I DM 5e.
Mm-hmm.
So I tell everyone, like, don't go for that yet. You want to find out where all of the torches are, so that way you can light them in rapid succession.
Mm-hmm.
For the backgrounds, I usually just tell people start with one in the book to get an idea of the feature, like a feature that it has that is similar to what you would want.
Mm-hmm.
And then just follow the rules in the book. Just pick a couple of things, a couple of languages. Don't worry about sticking to those strict backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll help people, like, make new features because
it's fun.
Well, the problem, I think, for me, the problem that I've experienced is, what's it called? It's the Outlander one. One feature, it's just like, one feature is you have, like, criminal contacts, and if your DM cooperates, then you can maybe use this for, like, a story beat, or to start a quest, or to get a little bit of help. If your DM cooperates, and if you think of it, and if it is narratively appropriate, and, like, you're in, like, maybe a city, or, like, a border town. But if you're out in bumfuck nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then it's not going to do anything for you. And it's very mechanically ill-defined, which would be fine, except then you have the Outlander background feature, which is like, no matter where the fuck you are, you can always find food for, like, you and, like, 7 people. Or 5 people. I can't remember how many people it is total, but it's, like, a lot of people.
Yeah.
And I had to, like, at the start of that Spelljammer campaign, one of my players had that, and I had to say, like, look, I'm going for an atmosphere where things are different. The druid, we had a talk, and we modified Goodberry to prevent this exact kind of thing, this exact kind of, like, short-circuiting of what should be a real challenge. So I'm going to have to reduce the potency of that and say that you have to be in an environment where the food is plentiful to start, and it's more just about your character having the knowledge of picking the right stuff.
Can you help me remember to come back to those icy things?
I think you have to.
Okay.
Like, this is... You needed to come here. It's good that we fell down here. Good job, the Adet experience.
Yes. I meant all of it.
Yes. Journey to Hell.
Holy moly!
100% my thing, my jam.
This is so better. Wow. Would you just
Would you look at that?
look at all that? I did that. Awesome.
I think Mr. Button did that. He had something to say about it.
Yeah, well, he needed direction.
That's
what I gave him.
That's a real mismatch now that I think about it, because you have a situation where you press one of those and there was like an equivalent exchange going on. Mm-hmm. You know, where like you pressed one down and one of equal size like came up.
Yeah.
But that was like you pressed down this tiny little button and then the entire center of the dungeon changes.
We just love surprises around here. Here's your surprise.
Boom! What I've done for the player that has... effectively, they wind up with a total of 5 tools, only one of which is chosen for them. He was stressing out about what... Oh, wait, it's Julian. Julian the Great. He's been on the show a couple times. He was stressing out about what he wanted to pick. Mm-hmm. And he was thinking like, maybe like Poisoner's Kit, because my character has that sort of like shadiness to them. Maybe like navigation tools, because they've spent time on a spell jamming vessel before. And I just said, leave a couple of them open, make a big note on your character sheet that says, I have X number of unclaimed tool proficiencies. Wait until we start playing, and then the first couple of times something comes up
that you need something,
and it like the group can't do it, and you're interested in it, just claim it then and then stick with it, because that's much better than saying pick stuff now, and if you go 8 sessions without using it, we'll retcon it and change it, you know? Because it's effectively the same thing. It's like, let's get you something that you are happy to have and can use.
Yeah.
Personally, between the two of us, thinking about that character class of an artificer on a spelljamming vessel, with that number of tool proficiencies, I kind of hope that character winds up being like the group's Kaylee.
Oh, yeah.
And winds up with, like, glass blowing proficiency, smithing tool proficiency, and carpentry tool proficiency.
Oh, I was going to say customer service.
Well,
customer service, like umbrella proficiency.
Umbrella, yeah.
So that was a dead end, right? Like,
it is now a dead end because of you raising the platform.
Because I'm amazing, yes.
But having those proficiencies will allow the repair, like the servicing of spelljamming vessels of all varieties, right?
Yeah.
If with stoneworking proficiency, that'd be dwarven vessels. Mm-hmm. The glass blowing proficiencies, because a lot of the fins and sails are made out of glass steel, and I think elvish vessels are made almost completely of this stuff. Like that's their principal component. So that seems like it's really funny. I like that about the setting, where a lot of people are like, glass blowing tools? Why? So you can make weird sex stuff? Like weird sex stuff in baby bottles. Like that's what that's for. But then you go to Spelljammer and it's like, no, our ship is made out of space glass.
It's called glass steel.
It is now one of the most valuable, it's one of the most sought after skill proficiencies in Spelljammer Vessel Engineering.
So this door?
Check your map.
That's right.
You
I
have
haven't
a
used
map.
it yet. I do have a map. There's my map.
Well, there are a couple of chests. Oh, now that you have, you should go to the one in the bottom left-hand corner. Mm-hmm. Because you have the ability to melt the ice blocks in there that will eventually lead to both of those chests, I believe.
And I'm already there.
No. No, I'm sorry to break it to you. The bottom left-hand corner.
That's through the thing and then through the... I can get there from here.
No, you can't.
Damn you. Why do you have to be right? Huh?
I've played the game before.
Oh.
I mean, there are probably better reasons, but I mean, like, that's the main one right now that I'm gonna go with.
Look, I'm just done with you right
Because I'm just a real cool dude. Got a Camaro. And probably like a Mustang.
No, this is not.
GT.
I'm
no,
sorry.
that's the right way. You
Yes,
were going the right way.
it is, but he surprised me and I
So
wasn't...
that makes it incorrect.
Yes, I didn't have my face on. You saw me without my makeup.
I'm so sorry. Please
like-
excuse me while I powder my nose.
I like pop out in curlers and I'm like, oh! And then I come back as a Goron. Okay.
You know what? Maybe we should just throw. You know what? Spelljamming vessels can go anywhere. Who's to say that they can't just go to Termina?
No one is to say that.
Just
because I
me.
will not let them.
Just me. I'm the only one that can say that because I'm the DM. Something is holding me back. It just feels so tacky, you know?
Why? It feels like it's ground that has been covered before.
I think a lot of it has to do with execution in the past. Mm-hmm. Where I've played in groups and I've heard stories of groups where someone will much too obviously reference another work and it's too devoted to that.
Oh, hi.
It's too devoted to the original, right? So maybe not having a Spelljammer vessel that actually goes to Termina, right?
Well, the only...
But you better not be surprised if someone just does like a test bed for the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll include a magic mask that effectively turns you into another character for a while until you take it off.
Well, yeah, look, here's the thing. Here's how I feel about using existing universes.
Right.
If you're playing with a bunch of fans, sometimes you get caught up with just everybody at the table going, you get it? You see the reference? Do you see are you smelling what we're stepping in? And it's just like, if you don't, that's fine. It's so wonderful that you could just use it as a setting. You don't have to. I think that as long as...
This is a sliding block puzzle.
A sliding block puzzle.
Yeah. Although before you slide it any further, try stepping on that switch and see if that changes anything in the room first.
Well, that's where the box is.
That's where a box is, yes.
I could probably get up there.
With the sliding block, yes.
Okay.
I'm sorry, what did you just say? I sort of zoned out.
I was saying that the only trouble with using existing things, existing universes.
Oh, right, everybody gets on like that. We did it. We did the
Look
thing.
how clever we are referencing things. And then if you miss one, it feels like you're not in the club.
Yeah.
Which is not cool. So I think that whenever it's done, it needs to be done in a way that everybody understands that if somebody misses a reference, the references are not the point. What the point is spending more time in that universe because the universe itself is fun. Like, it shouldn't depend on people being familiar with the property. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, if I had never played Legend of Zelda and then you dropped me into this, I would still love it.
I think that another thing is that The thing that I would be...
Am I done in here?
No.
Okay.
No, you pushed it into the wrong corner. You have to push it over there and then push it to the left so that way it can go back to the right, ultimately.
So slidey.
There. I think that D&D itself, I described it as like a blank slate before, but that's not true.
No.
I think it has become increasingly a kind of blank slate in that it has been, like the page has been filled up with black ink and then painted over slowly with white after that. You know? It has become its own thing, but it started, it was just like people playing token fantasy. It was just hobbits and dwarves and elves.
People wanting to spend more time in a beautiful place.
Yeah, in Middle Earth. And then as it became a commercialized product, they had to get further away from that out of necessity. But I mean, it's still there. Like, you can still see it.
Yeah.
Like, if you hold the sheet up to the light, you can see the imprint of it.
Like when they x-ray fancy pieces of art.
Now be very careful. You have one shot. Once again, here we find ourselves at
But you know, I do better when you don't remind me that I have one shot.
at the same crossroad. We're gonna, no pressure, because we're gonna do this and then the episode ends. Succeed or fail.
Well, I'm gonna use all of the tricks that you showed me. So there. I'm gonna go into first person mode like this. I'm gonna turn. I'm gonna get back out of it. I'm gonna use this. I'm gonna sidle a little bit. You see?
Oh, I just realized that in this RPG that I'm drafting in my head, you could have a pretty princess mask and you could be...
What the fuck is that shit?
You could put the mask on and be a pretty princess. You could be, like that could be... Oh, she would just be the sage class. Aww.
Yeah.
And she'd be a magic.
I did it. See? See?
I knew you could. I didn't say that you couldn't. That's on you, man.